What is good? What is going on? Hope everybody is doing well today. We are back. I'm back. You're back. We are here for another live stream here at Bet Your Own Risk YouTube channel. My name is Vortex46. As I always say, please, whatever you do, if you get a chance, if you feel comfortable, please go follow me over on Twitter and or X for all of my picks for the day. Yeah. So, we're back. I'm back. You're back. We're here. We're ready to dive into another, hopefully fun-filled sporting night for both the NBA and NCAA college tonight. Would have been up a little. I would have been up. I would have done a stream around 4:30 instead of, or even probably a little bit before 4:30. But I decided to put some stuff together for the stream and moving forward, hopefully, and for future videos to come for the week and moving forward for the rest of the 2025. Just decided to do something a little different. So, yeah. Let's dive into the quick recap, be as quickly as possible, and we are hopeful to, like I said, push for some wins today, and hope for the best. Let's get myself in the corner here. Let's dive into the recap. As I always say, I'm not sponsored by Pickett or anybody else here, but definitely this is a free app that you can use on your phone. I'm not sure if you can do it on an iPhone, but definitely on an Android you can, right? But this is what Pickett looks like. Free app. It gives you a daily, weekly, monthly, and even yearly information on all of your picks for a specific day. Gives you a record, all of that, keeps track of all that stuff. And as you see, I went 3-5 yesterday. 3-5. Could have possibly went 5-5 at best. Two of my picks did not cash. That were just 3 points shy. They were 3 points shy. I did explain that over on here on my Twitter account. But these are the picks. Mainly college went well for me. I went 3-1 for college last night, but went 0-4 for the NBA. So as you see here, like I said, quick recap. College wise, I had FAMU going, hitting the plus 3.5 spread at home, and they lost 73-70. Looked like it wasn't going to cash, but at the end they did cash. They met the mark for my pick, and that actually went up to 5.5. So had I grabbed it at 5.5, this would definitely been a more safer pick. But that last, like, I guess 30-40 seconds left in the game really helped out. Took the over, the total over for the McNeese game. McNeese was on the road. As you see, they scored 159 points. That cashed. That was like a no-brainer for because McNeese scored 95 points and their opponent scored 64, so that worked out. The other total was for the Wake Forest Duke game. That went over. It was 143.5. That went over basically 10 points, 153, or 9 points, 153. 60 to another one, Duke scoring 93 points, Wake Forest scoring 90. So if you would have taken Duke on the spread, that would have cashed, or even a money line. So, but the one that did not cash was the Houston KU. I was thinking to take the spread for KU, but I was like, because I do love taking plus spreads more than minus spreads, but I was thinking that maybe due to the fact that both teams were scoring a lot of points over the last few games, as far as their offensive concern between Kansas City and Duke, it's Kansas City and Houston, that I thought that maybe that one would have cashed, and it didn't. It was 132.5 because I felt like it was low, but yeah, they finished with 124. As soon as the first half ended, I was like, this is a low number, low score. They're not getting this 132. But again, the second half, they were only 9 points away. So it could have worked out, but it all depended on the first half for and as you see, it did not cash. But those for the positive and negatives were these ones. It was basically the Blazers at Philly and Golden State at Charlotte. Those two games came so close. They were 3 points off. I had the over for Portland, and now I'll talk about that real briefly in a second, but I had the over 224.5 for the Blazers in Philly, And then like I said, the over for Golden State, Charlotte 222.5. The Hornets, it was more so on the Hornets because the Hornets have been up and down as far as their team total points. I felt like Golden State was going to go out here, at least go above 110 points, definitely above 115. I thought that they were going to go above 120. That didn't happen. They scored 119, but it was all harbinging on what Charlotte was going to do last night. Yeah, first half, I knew automatically. As soon as I seen how many points they had in the first half, it didn't work out for that pick. So it is what it is. And yeah, 119, 101. Like I said, just missed by 3 points. What can you do? But the Portland one, I originally wanted to take the spread. It was plus 10.5. I originally wanted to take that. But I thought because it's Philly, at least from my knowledge, from what I've seen, from what they do, they at least score points, right? Maxey plus Paul George, sort of kind of Paul Georgie, right? Every so often, Paul Georgie, he scores above 15 points. Every so often. You know, the offense flows much quicker. There's more points being put up because Embiid's no longer on the court. He doesn't slow the court down, you know, whatever. Pacing down, right? Maxey got injured. I want to say third quarter. That's what I want to say. I got the notification in my phone. Yeah, as soon as he went down, I obviously knew that pick was a dunzo. It was a wrap, and that's what happened. As soon as that happened, I knew that my pick was done. But I was feeling really good about Portland's spread. I just didn't take it. I wanted to rely on both teams to go out here and handle business. But again, I missed by 3 points, so what can you do? I thought I felt real good about Washington's team total over points, 105.5. I really felt good about that per the stats on Outlier. Really did. And they were 2-0 on the road at Miami. 2-0. They played what, 5 or 6 games, and 2 times at Miami they went above 106 points. They literally were averaging like above 110. Yeah, Miami stepped up and Washington stepped down. They could only score 90. They were literally 15, whatever. No, not 15, but 26 points away. Yeah, it wasn't happening. So that's that. And the under on the Hawks heading to my Memphis Grizzlies. Here's the thing. Ja was ruled out, I want to say 4 hours before the game. So I got really excited about the pick. I was like, all right, this should cash because Ja's not on the floor. He's an automatic, for the most part. He's an automatic. If he's really balling, he's an automatic 20 plus, 25 plus point player if he's really on, right? Yeah, first half I knew. If I remember correctly, I think Atlanta had 70. No. Grizzlies had 70 plus points. I think it was 72, and Atlanta had 60, something like that. That was the first half. I was like, this is not going under. I could feel that, right? It was 253.5. 253, and it dipped down before the game. I still knew that this was going over. And as you see, 262 points scored. What can you do? It is what it is. All 4 of my NBA picks went straight non-cash, and yeah, 0-4 for the night. I'll have to accept the loss. I'll just have to. So with that, let's dive into our 8 picks again. 8 picks, 4 for NCAA, 4 for the pros for the NBA. Gonna be doing a little bit different for the NBA in a little bit here, but let's dive into the NCAA real quick. I'll try to be real briefly here. So I took my Georgia Bulldogs. I'm a fan of the football teams, but of course I have to, at least in a little bit, support the basketball team, right? Decided to see and test. I got this over on BetMGM for Georgia Bulldogs to go over 68.5. It's minus 118, right? They're taking on South Carolina. Let's look at this right now. Let's see if the number moved. I doubt that it did. Let's see if the number moved at all per this stat. I'm going to try to run through this in like 10 minutes, and then I'll dive into the NBA. And we can make the magic happen, hopefully, per this pick. So it's the very first game, or one of the very first games at 6 p.m., which is going to be starting in roughly 22 minutes or 20 or maybe half hour. We are 18-11, 6-10 on the conference, while South Carolina's 12-17 and 2-14. So I was considering taking the spread here. Well, no, I wasn't. I was considering taking the over the total or a team total points, and I decided to go with Georgia. So Georgia's this one, as you see, it dipped up tremendously. So basically, it dipped up one. So originally it was 68.5, as you saw on Bet MGM. That was the best value at the time. So it dipped up to 1.69.5. But either way, it's the same stat. We'll go with what it's showing here. Georgia, 70%. They're 7-3 of hitting this number over. They're averaging 72 points, but the last 5 games they're averaging 74. Technically, 4 straight games they've gone over this mark. South Carolina's defense is allowing 71, just a little bit shy of 72 points per their defense. Head-to-head matchup, though, Georgia is actually averaging 69. So it was just like when I looked at that 68.5 and I looked at everything as far as I was like, well, they're averaging 69. They went over this mark. They over the 68.5 twice, hitting 70 or more last season and this season. Back in January on the 28th, they scored 71 points. So I said, this is a no-brainer. Give me the 68.5. We're going to make that magic happen. So that was that first pick. Next up is another BetMGM pick. This is another favorite team of mine. My Kentucky Wildcats. This is like my top favorite team, right? College basketball, right? Deciding to fade their team total points, taking the under 85.5, minus 118. Another minus 118 thing here. We're at home against LSU. Let's check it out. I gotta go find the game, which is a little bit further down. I think it starts at 7, right? Maybe 7:30. Let me try to see. It might be even 8 o'clock. There we go. So it's 7 o'clock. So we are 19-10, 8-8 conference, while LSU is 14-15, 3-13 on the conference. So I decided to go with team total point. Fading 85.5. It looks like it dipped down to 84.5, but we'll go with the one that I grabbed. Again, the little bit of number, it was minus 118, so it dipped up to 120 for FanDuel. But as you see, look at this, very, very beautiful. They've been like just barely not hitting 86 points. Just barely. They got, the closest they got to was back here on the 4th of February last month, which was 84. They were 2 points shy, right? So they're averaging 80 the last 10 games, averaging 81 the last 5. Again, this is beautiful spot here, right? LSU's defense is allowing 73 points per the spot here, but let's look at the head-to-head matchup. One time last season, it was at LSU. They shut us down to 74 points in a win. They beat us 75-74 on February 21st of last season, 2024. Like I said, this is a no-brainer. I felt real comfortable about this pick. This was the best spot here that I felt was good enough to take, and we are going to go on ahead and take this. If you even when you look over on the right here, offense wise though, we're actually averaging 85, but again, per the stat, we're going under the mark, so it's just best that we just ride this wave, take this under, and hope that they go under, because they, my Kentucky Wildcats, we do be balling, right? There's a reason why, we have, 19 wins, right? So that's that one. And the last pick, second and last pick, I decided to take a spread. Actually, I think I take the last two picks are 2 spreads. So Georgetown, I decided to go back to Georgetown here. Got this over on DraftKings for them to cover the spread, to cover the number, plus 3.5, minus 105 on DraftKings, right? Let's look at this, and while we're doing that, I'll just do that real quickly, so that way that sets that up. So Georgetown here, they are at home. Let's find them. Try to be quick. We're kind of flowing with this. That's what I love. Because technically, I like streaming at least an hour or less. If I can get under maybe 40 plus minutes, I'll take it. Hold on, give me 1 second. Okay. So Georgetown, as you see, it did the same thing that the other spread did from last night with the with the FAMU one. It was originally was 3.5 and it dipped up to 5.5. Same thing, plus value. Same thing, same situation. There, Georgetown is at home, so now it dipped up to plus 5.5, minus 110 on FanDuel. So let's look at Villanueva. That's the team that they're playing against. They are the road team. Let's look at the last 5 games. They are 2-3 to the ATS, to the number, over the last 5 games. And when you look at the bottom right there, it says Villanueva Wildcats are 3-8, 27%, 0.3 against the spread in their last 11 road games. So this is their road games now currently. But let's look at Georgetown at home. They are 2-1. Again, you can look over here on the right and say, oh, well, per the number, they're 3-2, but that's per the number, but it's actually the actual ATS number here on the left. That's what you really want to pay attention to here, right? So they're 2-1, while, like I said, Villanueva is 2-3 to the number. But let's look at the head-to-head matchup here. All of the games. Pulled up all of the games. Georgetown is actually 1-2 to the number against Villanueva. More so recently, they played earlier this year, and why am I saying Villanova? Villanova, excuse me. I apologize for that. Villanova, apologies. Villanova, it got Georgetown covered the one time. It was 7.5. This was back on January 20th when they met at Villanova, and they won the game 64-63. So the hope is that they not only win, but they cover. But the actual, of course, the other hope is that if they lose, they don't lose by, more than 4 points. So it's going to be interesting because, like I said, per the FAMU pick from last night, that was something that I saw when I saw the number move. I was like, the hope is that, they, don't lose by this 4 points, right? Because it had dipped up 2 times. So we'll see what happens with that pick. So that's that one. And the last pick here is I decided to go with Texas on the road at Mississippi State, plus 7.5, minus 105 on FanDuel. I decided to take that one here. Actually, let me jump up here, and that way that will benefit us. So Texas, the Longhorns, they are on the road against a 20-9 and 8-8 Mississippi State Bulldogs here. They are currently 16-3, 5-11 for the conference. The number did not move, so this makes me feel a little bit better about taking this pick, right? But let's look at their last 5 games per the number. Away, Texas is 2-3. They haven't been able to cover the spread the last 3 games. This is a risk. This is why I keep continuing to talk about this, guys. Here on the channel, I love taking risks. So if I lose, and I accept the loss. I may be a little bit upset about certain things, about situations or whatever, but hey, you live and you learn, and you continue to push forward to push for more wins moving forward. And that's it sucks per being in this betting world. You want to win every day. You want to, you watch or even been in a space where you won. Like I'll bring this up again. 2 weekends ago on the Saturday, I had 10 college bets on the slate, or college picks down on locked in, and I went 9-1. That's like literally, I want to say, to be honest, like the best I've ever had, whether betting on basketball, like pros or college or football. That's the best that I've ever had when it's pertaining to this betting scene. So yeah, you get excited about that stuff. But then, the very next day I went 2-9. So yeah, there's that, But again, wasn't too upset. It was just like, hey, that's the name of the game, son. You win some, you lose some, like Craig's dad said to him. You win some, you lose some, but you live to fight another day. So that's what I'm going to be looking to do here, is hopefully live today to fight, and hope that we get some more wins tonight. And this is another win that I'm hopeful to get, because again, Texas is 2-3 to this number. They've lost 3 straight, not covering at least. Let's look at Mississippi State at home. 2-3, back to back. They've covered the number. 2-3. The hope is, of course, how we look at what they've done. They scored 81 points the last game, 70 the game before that, and they won big, 10 plus points or higher or whatever. The hope is that for Texas, they too can score 80 something points or 70 plus points and stay under 10 points of either possibly hopefully winning the game or possibly definitely losing the game, but still not losing by 8+ points. That's the hope. We'll see what happens with this pick, but this is the pick. This is what I chose to grab here, and we will see what happens. Now, next up, time to dive into the 4 NBA picks for the pros. These are I have 2 lock picks coming. Excuse me, but we're gonna do something a little bit different. Just a little bit different here. Per what I'm gonna be talking about. So this is the first lock pick here. It's RJ Barrett, 18.5 from to go over his total points at -110. They're at Orlando. But let's really look at the game here. You know what? I didn't. Well, guess I'll have to do it here. I forgot because I was rushing. That's what it was. I was rushing and I forgot to set up this one spot. So let's set this up. Shouldn't take but a second, right? No, that's not it. Let me get rid of that. Hold on. Let's remove. That wasn't the one that I wanted. Excuse me. I think this is it here. Nope, that's not it either. Give me one more moment. I think I can figure this out because just didn't come fully prepared. Okay, here we go. Just gotta get it up here, right? Oh wait, that's not it. Darn it, that's not it. I don't see. This is all the stuff that's not what I want. So give me another moment. That's not what I wanted. I was I had it all set up, so maybe I should have streamed on a whole totally different thing here. Apologies for the mishap, because like I said, I was not I don't think that's it. It's not that. No. Here we go. All right, finally found it. This should do it right here. Got it. Finally found it. Sorry, that was my fault. Okay, so let's go to again, first game. Like I said, this is the first lock pick, but we're going to actually do something a little bit different once this goes up the way that I want. Apologize because my laptop sucks. And I'll hopefully definitely come a little bit more prepared here. So here we go. Where are you? Where did I put you? Here we go. There we go. All right. So maybe I can still come up here. Whoops, whoops, whoops. And I'll come there. Okay. So Magic at Raptors. So actually, we'll do that for now, and then I'll end up having to come off the camera because my next image is going to have a plethora of other information on it. But this is what I was talking about at the beginning of the stream, is how I set up, a graphic for said game, and I'm going to look to push to do the same for college. But this is what it would look like, hopefully, for now, until I can maybe figure out some other way of doing the graphs. But this is what it looks like. Magic are the favorite here at Toronto. Actually, sorry, I should have flipped it, but I forgot to work that out. But they're at home. So originally Orlando should be to the, well, wait, they should be on the right, and Toronto should be on the left. But money line minus 298. They are favored at for 7.5 spread, minus 7.5. While Toronto's money line is plus 250. The spread is for them is plus 7.5. The total point currently is 207.5 here. The Orlando, they're 29-33 for the year, and Toronto is 19-42, right? But let's look at a little bit extra here real quickly. Just gotta get this. There we go. I just wanted to look up what they're doing here. So Toronto's currently the last 7 games, they're 3-7 to the last 10 games. They won 1 game, their last game. While Orlando, they're 4-6 over the last 10 games, but they've lost 3 straight games. So the key question for today is pretty much, when we look at the team itself, Orlando's more specifically, they just announced today that Suggs is out for the season. He had a season-ending surgery, so he's officially done. There's like 4 players, technically like 2 or 3 major players that literally are done for the season. Again, Kyrie Irving's out for the year now because of his torn ACL. Maxey, he got injured last night. He's probably not going to play. But Hardy for the Mavs, he's going to be out for extended a period of time as well. So Dallas is just like, they're down bad right currently. But Orlando, they literally only have Bonchero and Franz, and then whatever other pieces, Batazde and all of that. The hope is that they can figure some things out moving forward. When we look at, like I said, Orlando, the last 10 games, they are currently 4-6 last 10 games, again, while Toronto is 3-7 the last 10. One thing to note about Orlando, we got to look at what they're doing at home, right? So let's see if we can pull up. Well, yeah, let's see. We can do it this way because this is better. We can go spread wise and then go home. There we go. So Orlando, the last 10 games, even the last 10, you could say even the last 5, they've scored 102, 115, 82, 110, 104. While Toronto on the road, they've scored 104, 115, 91, 106, 87. So it's sort of kind of the same type of thing here. Actually, let me refix my camera. Bring this back up. Just feels a little bit better me being in the top left corner than the bottom left corner. But it's just that this is what you're working with both teams. When you're looking at this, would it be best for you to take a spread? Would it be best for you to take a total? The thing about it was, for this game for me, I decided to go with a player prop just because I just don't know what type of team I'm getting from Toronto or Orlando. Yes, Suggs was just announced, but again, this was after my pick got put in, right? But when you really look at it, do you really feel more what do you really feel more comfortable doing for this game? Like I said, I looked at it and said, let me go with a player prop, because when I'm looking at the stuff, you could possibly say maybe the over hits real low is 207 and a half, but it just depends on what the teams are going to be doing. This total could actually go under, and that's because, you know, let's look at Toronto. Let's look at the injuries for Toronto. Abaj is out. Grady got announced that he's out. He's out for 2 weeks now, and Brandon Ingram's still out. Right? Is there anything else? Gary, that's Garrett Temple. So the main two is Abaji, Grady Dick. Those are the two that been still playing while they're still waiting for Ingram to come make his actual debut with the team. So, but again, they just announced Grady Dick being out for the next 2 weeks, and this was maybe like an hour and a half ago before the stream started. So I just personally felt it was more comfortable to take a player prop more than trying to rely on an over or under on a total points or a spread, because we really don't know what's going to happen with this game. Toronto may possibly win this game, but at the same time, with Bonchero and Franz on the court, you don't know. Orlando could win the game, but maybe win by 10 plus points, or maybe possibly win by 5, and Toronto still covers this 6.5. So I just went with the player prop, which was RJ Barrett here. Total points was 18.5 at the time. This was hours and hours ago, and it stayed where it's at. So since it didn't move, since it didn't budge at all, let's go on ahead and take. Let's look at this here. He's 7-3 to going over the 18.5. Averaging 21 points. Last 5 games though, he's still averaging 20. He's gone 3-5 to this number here, but also too small forward though. Here's a small forward position. This is what Orlando's doing per the position. They're only allowing 18 points. Just a few points shy of 19. So I feel like personally that this number could hit. Like I said, I grabbed this over on FanDuel at -110. So that's why I said, let's go on ahead here and take this and see what happens. So that's that pick. Next up is the Atlanta Hawks. They're hosting the Milwaukee Bucks. This one was a little bit more simpler, and I'm actually going to come off camera. So this one was a little bit more simpler here, right? I'm going to pull up my graph for this game. It's going to have a little bit extra here on the graph here. So let's show you. So this is what, let's fix that real quick. I don't know why it did that. Actually, I guess that's the, okay. So I guess, yeah, let's just do that. That'll work. Okay, so Bucks at Atlanta. Bucks are the favorite. Money line is minus 225 to Bucks plus 200. The spread is 5.5. Again, Bucks are the favorite to cover the number at 6. Bucks last 10 games 7-3, while the Atlanta Hawks are 5-5 last 10 for them. Bucks have a season record so far 34-25, while Atlanta is 28-33. But the total point is sitting at 243.5. They specifically have a very high number. Reason being, I personally believe it's this high is because one, Atlanta literally just played last night, and both them and my Memphis Grizzlies just like blew the socks off of this total that was at 253.5, like I mentioned last night. Now, per the pick that I grabbed it where Atlanta was scoring a specific amount of points at the time, But again, their number more than likely got adjusted due to the specific number that per the points that they scored last night. So when I looked at this, I said, let me go on ahead and look at the team total points for the Atlanta Hawks at home. Because when I'm looking at Milwaukee, I sort of felt like I could have probably faded their team total points, right? Possibly, but I said, you know what, this is Atlanta. Atlanta sometimes they sometimes ball, right? So what I did was I grabbed Atlanta to go under their team total points at 120 and a half, minus 135. Again, this was bet MGM. And I looked at it, right? This is what Atlanta has done over the last 10 games going with the under. Now it's dipped up a little bit, 135, minus 130, minus 138 on FanDuel. Last 10 games, they've actually averaged 121 points the last 10 games. Again, per the number at the time, this is what it said for the last 5 games. Now let's look at the last 5 games now. The number actually dips up to 120 due to the fact that they scored 132 points last night. But again, this is what it says from last night. It was 120 because they indeed went, under. Actually, no, I'm sorry. That's the Pacers. I'm sorry. The wrong one. There it is. Yeah, so here it goes. Originally, like I said, last 5 games, it was 115, just shy of 116. This is the number that I got. This was hours ago. This was last night as the game was almost over with. So I still grabbed it. I still locked it in because maybe possibly this could happen. They can go under. And here's the reason why I say that. Again, now the number has dipped up to 120 simply because of what they did last night. Milwaukee is allowing, their defense are allowing 113 points, 112 and a half. But head-to-head matchup, the last 6 games alone, technically the last 4 straight games, for Atlanta playing against Milwaukee, they are actually averaging 116 points. They're actually getting shut down, technically the last 4 games, and more so this season, the last 2 games, one away at Milwaukee, one at home, they have literally gone under this 121. So Milwaukee's defense is actually spot on right now. And I personally feel like that because of what Atlanta did last night, that this could be a spot where they actually go under the number. But we will see what happens, because again, this is a back-to-back game. They didn't go far. This is them. They went from, I'm sorry. They're coming from Memphis. They're coming back home. So yeah, a little bit of a travel back home, and it's a back-to-back game. The hope is that this number will stick and stay because of the trend of them playing against Milwaukee will stick and stay, and this will be what cashes for me and maybe possibly you if you were to tail this pick. Now, next game is the actual game that I actually shared on accident. Didn't mean to do that, and that is the Pacers game here. Let's pull up the graph, come off of camera again. And where's... Actually, you know what? No, here we go. I was going to say, I was like, I didn't do a graph, but yes, I did. Here it is. So this one, I didn't do everything that I was supposed to do because I forgot. But either way, it's Houston heading to Indiana. Pacers are the favorite at minus 155 to Orlando's plus 140 for the underdog here. Pacers current record is 34 and 25 to the Rockets 37 and 24. Pacers they won 1 game. They're 6 and 4 the last 10 games, while the Rockets they lost back-to-back games. Currently, last 2, they're 5 and 5 to the last 10 games, and the total point is 231. So when I looked at this specific game, this specific spot here, I was really looking at trying to figure out what I really wanted to pick, but I was heavily leaning on a team total point. Um, and it was more so Indiana more than Houston. When I looked at Houston, they're just like up and down when it's pertaining to their team total point for. It's like the best value was literally like right around here at 117 more so than anything, but it would had to be a little bit less than that so that if I had to take their team total point under, I would have to put a few extra cents or bucks down to really get some value back, some return back. But I just said, you know what? Philly. Indiana has been like technically like balling, right? So I decided to go with the team total points, which let me go back to it because again, it was an accident that I grabbed that one. But it's another bet MGM. I decided to go with them scoring 116 points tonight, minus 130 on bet MGM here. And so it's now it went to minus 154. This is another beautiful spot. They're 8-2 to going over this number here. They're averaging 122 points, 121 and a half the last 10 games, but the last 5 games 121, 120.6. But again, they've gone over this mark over the last 5 games, 4-1 to this number. Houston's defense, though, they're only allowing 109 points, right? But head-to-head matchup, Indiana is averaging 123 points, 122.6. They're 2-1 to this number of going over. But the most recent game was earlier this year, back in November on the 20th of November, where they were on the road and they lost 130 to 113. They were held just shy of the number of 3 points. So like I said, I personally just feel like this is still a comfortable spot because again, Indiana is at home. When we look at Indiana at home, to the number, last 5 games alone, they're 3-0 to going over, right? And then the last 10 games, when we're looking at their home games, so 1-1, 2-1, 3-1, 4-1, 4-2. So 4-2 when it's pertaining to at home going against an opponent. They've been able to go over this number, so that's definitely a positive spot here. And I personally feel like that this can cash for us tonight, with them being at home in a comfortable spot. In the way that Houston has been balling currently, you would be more. To me, I was more interested in taking the team total points than anything else per this pick. And then last pick for the night, I decided to go with a spread. But let's look at the specific information for the Warriors heading to New York. There we go. So, per the graph, much more information than what I normally have, right? This is kind of what I'm going to be looking to set up per my graphs for now, unless I can figure out a different way, because this is a whole bunch of stuff in front of somebody's face. But I tried to make it as simple of a read as possible. So New York is favored. They're minus 200 for the money line. The spread is 5.5. Warriors are plus 84 underdogs for both the cover and the money line. Seasonal record for the Warriors 33-28. New York Knicks 40-20. The total point number is sitting at 226.5. Last 10 games for the Warriors, they're 8-2, while the Knicks last 10 games are 7-3. But let's look at what they've done currently, more recently. Warriors won 1 game, while the Knicks have won 3 straight. So when looking at this specific thing, I just personally felt more comfortable with taking the spread more than anything. When you look at it, though, per the information, then the spread number dipped down. Now, I decided to go with the underdog. I decided to go with the Warriors on the road to cover the number, mainly because of what we're looking at per the graph here on Outlier. So I grabbed this over on Caesars. Minus 105 for them to cover the spread at 4.5, plus 4.5 to be more precise. Looking at this, they're still technically sort of kind of favored to cover this number, right? Let's look at the last 5 games on at home for the Knicks. They are 0-5 when covering this number. I have a buddy of mine's at work. He's a New York Knicks fan. We have conversations about his Knicks team all the time. We have other conversations about the other teams in the league, which includes my Oklahoma City Thunder, my favorite team in the league, right? But we had a conversation earlier today, and I had mentioned to him like, hey, I'm taking the Warriors to cover the spread against y'all tonight, and he was basically saying like, my Knicks, we don't have depth. That's what causes us to sometimes lose some of these games. He too is another person like myself who doesn't like how Tibbs runs New York's basis of a team. Me, if I was a coach, I would be running 9 guys, 10 guys. I would have to trust the other players on my bench. I just couldn't run an 8-man team every night. And that's what Tibbs does a lot. He runs his starters through the ground. A lot of times, even sometimes we've seen earlier this season where all 5 players were literally averaging 40 minutes a night. Yes, they technically are full-time players. Yes, technically when you're a full-time employee, you are expected to work all of your hours and even then some even extra hours because you're picking up the slack from, your coworkers who say may not show up, may be late, maybe doing, may not be doing their job well. So when it's pertaining to flipping it over to the sports arena, same situation. Yes, I can understand the players say playing, starters playing say 35 plus minutes a night, but not 40, right? That's overtime stuff, right? So when I looked at this, I looked at the team itself, the depth. I said, Warriors, their bench is a little lackadaisical as well, but I don't trust the Knicks even at home tonight. But again, this is going to be a pick that is going to be a risky pick. Why? Because if you look there, they're at the bottom of the screen there on Outlier. It says that the Warriors are 3-7 to covering the number in the last 10 games as underdogs. But I decided to take the risk. Like I said, main reason is New York's bench, specifically at home, and more specifically what they're doing on the road here. At home, literally the last 5 games. Yes, they may have won 1, 2, 3 games, but they didn't cover any of the numbers. While the Warriors are 4-1 to the number of the last 10 games, 80%. The only game they didn't cover on the road was at Philly. They lost 126-19, and I just personally felt that plus 4.5 was a good enough sweet spot for me to take this number in the midst of them being under 500 with the spread, 30% and all of that. I just personally felt like this was the best spot for this number when looking at this. But then we can still also to look at the head-to-head matchup over all of the games. They're technically, for both teams, they're 1-1. The Warriors didn't cover last season on February 18th of 2024, where they lost 119 to 112. But they did cover the number a month prior, just literally maybe 2 weeks prior on the 29th, where they won on the road at New York, 110-99, minus 3.5. So I just personally felt like when I looked at everything per the Outlier chart, even looking at what they're doing over here on the offensive side, we can even compare both offenses. Warriors are averaging 113 points. Knicks are averaging 118, just a little bit over, the 117, right? This feels like a comfortable spot. I just personally felt like this was the best choice for tonight. We'll see what happens. The Knicks, like I said, the Knicks have been up and down. OG hasn't really been playing well. Bridges, he was up, but he's been mostly down. Brunson, Hart has been, that's the thing with Hart. Josh has been handling business as far as his scoring. Let's look at this. Josh Hart. Where are you, homie? Even though you don't know me, and I'm rhyming accidentally, right? Look at this. His points, the beginning of the spell of these last 10 games, he was balling, right? He was balling. He's currently averaging 18 points, but the last 5 games he's only averaging 14. So that's what I'm saying. They need Josh. They really need him to be able to go out here and get 15 plus points tonight. They really, really do. We can even look at what the Warriors are doing as far as the position when it's pertaining to the defensive side of the ball, Josh should be getting 20 plus points tonight. That should happen tonight. But again, it's the NBA. Everything is unpredictable right now. We are in the beginning of March. The All-Star break is over, and there are a plethora of injuries happening right now. This is not a situation where you want to take any pick lightly. Currently, you want to look at every aspect, every nook and cranny of a pick to be able to try to make the right read when it's pertaining to this stuff. Like I said, talk about OG Anunoby. Look at this roster, guys. Look at what the players have been doing. I couldn't pick OG for a pick. That's what I'm saying when I decided to go with my spread pick instead, because I don't trust this New York Knicks team to cover this 4.5 tonight. Well, the pick that I have, even though it dipped down to 2.5. But again, it's unpredictable. Maybe tonight will be the night that the Knicks actually handle business tonight at home. Maybe they win by 10 plus points tonight, but maybe they win and they still cover the number, or maybe they win by 2 points and I get the win on the number. I don't know, but the Knicks early, a month and a half ago, maybe a little bit less than that. Cat, he was balling, right? Technically, what was it? The last couple of weeks, even. But now he didn't play the last game. Let's look at the injury report. He may not even be playing tonight. Yeah, he's out. That's what I'm saying. He's not even playing tonight, and that sucks. Let's look at Brunson real quick. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. The Knicks need Cat on the floor, and they need him to be going out there and getting a double-double, crashing the boards for 12, 14 rebounds, scoring like 25 points, playing some defense, hitting some trays from the arc, right? Brunson, he's up and down. That's what I'm saying about this team, guys, and that's why I'm saying you might as well just either taken the spread or a team total point. We can even look at this. Look how beautiful the team total point for the Warriors are over the last several games, 10 games alone. This should be something that you should lock in for real. If you really want to lock in technically an actual lock, it should be this one right here. It's minus 130, 111.5. Look at this. Look how beautiful this. 8-2 to this number. 5-0, averaging 123 points over the last 5 games alone. While the Knicks their defense again is allowing 113 points. To me, this is a no-brainer pick that I did not take because I really want to test, my own betting skills per the information that I have, and per what I've seen from both teams is that the Warriors have been handling some sense of business while the Knicks haven't for the last several games. My hope, though, as a fan of the game, is that the Knicks can still ball without Cat. That Josh Hart goes out here and balls his heart out. That Brunson goes for maybe 35, maybe 40 tonight. Because, again, my homie from my Thunder, SGA, he went for 51. If SGA can go for 51, why can't Josh go for 40? Why can't Brunson go for 40? Why can't Josh Hart go out here and get 15 points? Why can't he go out here and get a triple-double tonight? And then on top of that, Curry, and the tandem of the Warriors, Curry should be able to go out here and get 30. You know what I mean? So it just felt right for this pick. And I just personally believe that this is the best bet for this plus 4.5. Again, over on Caesars, minus 105. This is the spot here that I'm hopeful that it will cash for me tonight and for you if you decide to tail that pick, and we'll see what happens moving forward. As far as everything else, if I see anything else, the games are getting ready to start in roughly 40 plus minutes from now. If I see anything else, I may do one extra pick for college, one extra pick for basketball. I have 8 total picks currently. I may add 2 more, 1 and 1, make it a total of 10. The best thing that I can think to do for tonight is maybe do like a two pick parlay, maybe for the Rockets Pacers game, maybe for let's see, maybe the Hawks Bucks game tonight. 2 pick parlay will either maybe possibly be 2 players getting 10 points for a plus 100 low value or mid value, or one player getting 10 points and another player's hitting 2 threes. Again, low plus 100 value or whatever. Just something that I'm thinking I may do here tonight. And now that I'm really thinking about it, let's do it real quickly. Let's make that pick happen. I'll do it right here live. Let's see what we can find here. Let's see. Let's look at Indiana real quickly. Now, here's the thing. Last game with Indiana, when they played, I think they were on the road. I went with Toppin to score 10 points. He finished with 6. And that pick I put in was over on Fanatics. So who would I pick for 10 points here? Maybe it might be Dylan Brooks. But that's the thing. I remember I did take Dylan Brooks for 2 threes, and he actually hit that. That was the pick that I had the other day. This was like 4 days ago or something like that. Him and somebody else to get 10 points, and they pretty much got that handled that pick. I don't think I want to do it back to back though. But let's look at Naismith here. Let's see what he's doing points wise. It's 11.5. He's averaging 11 points, but more so the last 5 games he's actually averaging 16. So he's 4-1 to this number. Let's look at what the Houston Rockets per the defense, 19. So this is like perfect, right? This is a perfect spot here. But let me go on. This is going to be a pick for FanDuel that maybe this will be something that cashes tonight. But I got to log into FanDuel. These type of picks, these like two player lock picks, and sometimes even like a 4-leg type of thing where I do a dual 2 players getting 10 points and then the other 2 getting like 1-3. That still is a plus value type of thing, but it's more of a safer bet. That you can consider putting in. Those type of picks you still want to do. You still want to put in, if you're doing parlays, right? You still want to do like a 4-leg parlay, but it's like a plus 100, like a low plus 100. Because when you do stuff like that, if you don't know this information, those low plus 100s are more so of a higher chance of hitting versus say a plus 200, plus 300, plus 400, or whatever the case. Because again, at the end of the day, you still got 4 players on, or four picks on one ticket. You're still hoping that everything hits. But if you do just a single pick, it's either going to hit or it's not, or it might just like not hit at all and just void out type of thing. Just be like, just doesn't do what you were hoping for it to do. But let's look at it. But that's why I say you still want to focus on some safer bets, and this is like a safe pick right here. So 10 points. What's Smith's 10 points here? So it's minus 215 for him to score 10 points, right? So we'll take Naismith for 10 points tonight. And actually, let me go back in here because I got to look at what is he doing a head-to-head matchup against Houston. So he's averaging 10 on the nose. This is still a perfect spot because he's hitting the mark on 10. So this is still a good spot here to take. Now let's look at the 3-pointers. Again, one player to hit 2 threes. Let's look at Jabari Smith before I possibly make a decision on going back to Dylan Brooks here. Jabari Smith, where are you, sir? Here you go. Way down here at the bottom. 3-pointers. Same thing. This is a risk. Main reason, he's averaging 1-3 over the last 10 games, but the last 5 games he's just over 1. This is a risk. Let's see. Power forward. They're actually allowing 2 threes though. So let's look at the head-to-head matchup. He's actually averaging 2 threes against Indiana because second to the last 2 games he's hit 2 or more threes. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna actually lock this in because again, like I keep saying, I do like taking risks. For him to hit 2 threes is minus 130. This is actually a plus value. It's actually plus 150. So I'm gonna go ahead and lock this in. Let's push that up. We'll do just that. We'll lock that in. And when I do these type of plays, I usually don't do a play where or a two-leg parlay like this where it's from the same team. I usually pick one player from one team and the other player from the other, kind of make it a little bit more of a specific type of a pick. That's what I do. It's whatever you decide that you want to do, right? So I just locked that in. So that's the 5th pick for tonight for the NBA. Now let's dive into college real quickly, real briefly. This will be the last pick for the night for college to even out all of my picks to a total of 10. Like I said, I'm usually pushing for 8, and sometimes I'll do 10, and then I may even decide to do, I'm gonna do 6 picks and do do like 12 picks. But I think more so the 12 pick ones are usually for the weekend. During the week, I usually just do 8 or 10. So for college, let me see if I can find anything. Hopefully that I can. I believe that I can. I believe I can find anything for and just like look at the numbers and be like, okay, this sounds like it's actually could be something I can benefit and work. My other favorite team is the Memphis Tigers, and I might actually go with that one. But let me just keep looking real quick before I make that decision. I've never bet on Baylor's game. They're going against TCU. Auburn. Ooh. Give me 1 second here. Let me look at something real quick. Not Auburn, not you. Texas A&M. So it's more beneficial to fade their team total points. Let's look at this real quickly here. 74.5. They're 7-3 to this number. They're averaging 70 over the last 10 games, 69 over the last 5. Ooh, Auburn's defense is only allowing 69 points on the nose. Let's look at what Auburn is doing over the last several games per the actual number. I'm just going to go on ahead and hit a spread real quick. Let's see. So Auburn on the road. What are they doing on the road when it's pertaining to the 74? They're actually allowing teams to score 74 points or more over the last 5 games. So that's definitely a risk that I may not be willing to take. Because look at this. Their opponents score 78, 85, 68, 82, 74. So technically, 4 out of the last 5 games, they're 1-4. 1-4 to not allowing a team to score said number. Now, the last game that they played against each other was at Auburn, but that was last season on January 9th, where they humbled Texas A&M, but they were kind of humbled too, but they only scored 60 points, but they held Texas A&M to 55 points that game, but that was last season. So this may not be the spot that I decided to grab here. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. No, I gotta go back. So that may not be something that I decide to take. Let me go on ahead and look at Memphis real quick. Let me look at Roadrunners team total points real quick. I just want to see if there's something standing out. And it looks like no, nothing standing out for team total points there. Let me look at my Memphis Grizzlies real quick. Let me see. So maybe fading them. Wait, hold on. Give me a second. Maybe I already picked. Did I forget that fast? No, I didn't. No. That was Kentucky. I forgot. That's my other team, Kentucky. Let's see. So they've gone over 83.5 3 straight games. So they're 6-4 to going over 84 points. 3-2 to going over. 3 straight games of going over 80 something points. Head-to-head matchup though, they actually scored 107 points last season on the 10th of January. That's wild, son. UTSA's defense is allowing 77 points. Let me double check, because I may decide to take Memphis team total points over tonight, because that seems like it's more beneficial. Let me look at this. I might even take the spread even. Just do another spread. So Memphis away, they're a lot. Well, excuse me. Scoring wise, so they are 3-2, right, to scoring over the last 5 games. Yes, at home their defense 56, 78, 80, 61, 79. This is another risk. Do I want to try to see if I can get Memphis to score 80 something points, or should I take the spread instead? And who should I take for the spread? Let's look at the spread here. So again, it's just the one time, but we were at home. Look at this real quick. So Memphis is 2-1 to covering, while UTSA is 3-1 to covering the number. This actually might be the best bet. 88, 81 is okay. I think. Give me a second. Let me look at this defense over here real quick. 77, 73. Memphis's defense is allowing 73 points again, while UTSA is allowing 77. So offense wise, again, Memphis is scoring 80, UTSA is scoring 77. So it's still a close number. I'm gonna take a chance here. I faded Kentucky on my Kentucky boys for tonight for the under on the team total points. I'm gonna go on ahead and take a chance on my Grizzlies. Grizzlies. We're not talking about NBA. I'm gonna take a chance on Memphis Tigers not covering the number at +8.5. It all as always is just gonna depend on how the game flows from the start of the first half all the way to maybe like mid second half. Because they've only won twice over the last 5 games of 9 points or more. So I'm gonna do it. Give me the dog. Yeah, give me the. We're minus 400 though. No, I changed my mind. I changed my mind right on the spot. I'm gonna take us, the favorite, minus 8.5. Okay, minus 8.5. And I need to hurry up because the game's gonna be starting soon. But this is good. Caesars. Okay, I locked it in. Caesars, minus 105 for us to cover the number. Let's hope that we cover this number and win by 10 plus points tonight. We'll see, but that's it. I locked it in, and actually, I'm just going to do this right now on camera 2. second. I'm just setting this up and getting my screenshots, and I'm gonna post it on Twitter. That way we'll really lock the pick in. I just gotta find the Memphis game. Where did y'all go? Okay, here we go. So it's 8.5. Screenshot. Blah blah. We got it. Twitter. My account. Let's do this here. Let's NBA posted pick, and then Memphis. Cover the spread at -8.5 against UTSA. Oops. UTSA. So what was it again? Per the information that I gotta post. So UTSA. So wait, my fault. Tigers are 2-2-1. ATS last 5 games, and UTSA are 4. Was it 4? But hold on, let me make sure. So it's 3-1-1 ATS the last 5 games at home. My fault. Now I gotta go back to my Tigers on the road. And last season the Tigers won at home against UTSA 107. What was it? 107 to 101. This may have been a overtime game. And actually, UTS covered that number at 19.5, though. But okay, so 107, 101, but UTSA covered the number. We'll just do that. Post. Got it. Locked in. NBA picks locked in. 10 points, 2 threes. And the Memphis Tigers spread pick is locked in. We're good. It's all good. We made the magic happen. We did it. We locked it in. We're good. And I'm done. I'm out. I'm going to go handle some business and get ready to pay attention to these scores and stuff and hope for the best tonight. But with that, leave some comment section below of this video and or stream for later if you feel up to it. I thought it was going to go under an hour, but it's okay. I'll take that for sure, that we locked in some extra information and stuff like that, extra picks. But I'm out, guys. Stay safe, stay humble. Let's hope for the best for tonight, and be on the lookout for hopefully let me double check. I may not be able to do a video tonight. Give me 1 second here. Yeah, hopefully. No. Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully I can do a video tonight to talk about my 2 lock pick video for the NBA, and be on the lookout for my live stream for all my NBA and NCAA picks for tomorrow. With that, stay safe, stay humble. I'll holler at you later, guys. Excuse me.